Sign me up. Sign me up. Hello reader friends, hello book besties, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Erica, aka PaperbackGirly, and today we're going to be wrapping up my March reads and I'll be telling you what books I want to read in April. So excited for today's video. I read I think 10 or 11 books and I'll be giving you guys my quick little ratings and then we'll talk about the books that I'm so excited to read in April. April is actually my birth month, so I think that this TBR is just going to be focused on books that I'm so excited to read. Like, this is just going to be a fulfilling month. I'm going to be turning 25. I'm going to be bringing in a new year, celebrating another beautiful year of life. I'm going to also be putting that energy into the reads that I pick up. I'm so excited to read certain books this month, so we'll talk about that in just a few moments. But first, so I have 9 physical copies of the books that I read this month, but I do have some books that I read via Libby that I don't have a physical copy of. These are the books that I read in March, and if I'm looking over here, it's because I'm using a different camera, so don't mind me looking at myself on the viewfinder. But I talked about a lot of these in my March reading vlog, and I also talk about them in my tier ranking videos, so I don't really want to go through every single one of them. I guess really quickly though, I will tell like quick ratings. Flawless, Elsie Silver, 5 stars. Mile High, Liz Tomford, 5 stars. The Right Move, Liz Tomford, 4.5 stars. No, I think I rated it 5 stars. Twisted Lies, 4.5 stars. A Court of Mist and Fury, 4.25. I think I rated it 4 stars, but I think I want to change that. Love in Other Words, 4.5 stars. And now we'll talk about the 3 books that I didn't get to talk about in my monthly reading vlog. I read Little Prince by Sophie Lark, Kiss the Sky by Krista and Becca Ritchie, and Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. Oh, I also read in March The Fine Print, which I rated 3.5 stars, and then also finished from February Twisted Lies, which I rated 2 stars. Again, all of that is in my March reading vlog. Little Prince by Sophie Lark is honestly, I think I rated this 3.5 stars, but I did genuinely like this book. Like, I had a good reading experience. I enjoyed the book for what it was, but I think that things happened a bit fast. I thought the spice was good in the book, but I'm not sure I was super enthralled by the connection between the 2 characters. Kiss the Sky, 5 out of 5 stars. Oh my god, like, when I tell you, if you watch my February reading vlog, you may or may not know that Addicted for Now didn't really like 100% do it for me. Like, I still rated it very high, rated it 4.5 stars, but Addicted for Now was not my absolute favorite book, and I found myself like falling out of love or out of interest in Lillian Lowe's story, and I hope that doesn't sound bad. Like, I don't want that to sound bad. But I was very excited to get into the Calloway Sisters series, and this is the first in that series. When I tell you, I think I mentioned in my March TBR video that I was just so excited to get into the heads of both Rose and Connor, because whenever we were reading about them in the Addicted series, like, we would only get like the outside looking in. We would never really understand what he was saying to her in French or really understand their connection and like what was going on and like how they were so good together. We get all that in Kiss the Sky. Like, oh my goodness, I love this book so much. 5 out of 5 stars. It was such a subtle read that became a 5 out of 5 stars. Sometimes whenever I read certain books and I read them 5 out of 5 stars, the whole time I'm like squealing or I'm reacting emotionally and like super invested. With this, I was just like calmly, cool, calm and collected, but like just so hooked. Can't even describe it. So 5 out of 5 stars, Kiss the Sky. I'm so excited to read Hot House Flower next month. Well, this month, it's April 1st, so happy April, everyone. Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey is a new release, I believe, from like February. I got this a couple months ago, and I was able to get a copy of the audiobook from Libby. I listened to this, and at first I wasn't really captivated by it, and I talk about a lot how audiobooks just have like a different reading experience or deliver such a different reading experience for me that I'm not sure is like for me all of the time. I appreciate having the convenience and the flexibility of audiobooks, so like I'm trying to thug it out, you know, I'm trying to like make it work. Anyways, we'll figure that out as I continue on in my reading journey. But Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey is a book, I think I rated it 3.75 stars. I think I maybe want to change that to 3.5. I don't know. I think that there are good parts of this book. I read a Tessa Bailey book, window shopping, and did not like it at all. I rated it 2 out of 5 stars. It's just super insta-lovey. Like, people were doing the Renegade, like super like stoked about this book. Like, I was hyped about it because I kept seeing it on TikTok and BookTube, Bookstagram and stuff like that, and this cover is gorgeous. Like I was like, oh my god, a new release, and then I bought it and I was like, oh wait, this is Tessa Bailey. I'm not a huge Tessa Bailey fan. I ended up liking it. It wasn't terrible. I feel like the beginning, it took a while for me to get invested into the book, and then I wasn't exactly hooked with the whole secret admirer letter situation trope. Like I read a book that I rated 5 out of 5 stars, The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy, that has a similar play on that. I like that book a lot more. So I feel like if I read other books with that same trope, it will take a lot for me to like it because I liked that book so much. So 3.5 stars, would definitely recommend it. And I liked the Napa Valley wine vibe. There's a lot of elements that I did like about this book, but not a huge fave. Those are the 11 books that I got to in the month of March. If you want to see more detailed reading stats or different thoughts about different books, check out my tier ranking video that I just posted the other day, or if you want like a more reading vlog style video, and check out my March monthly reading vlog. Those two are both on my channel. Check them out if you'd like. Now it is time to get into the portion of the video where we talk about the books that we'd like to read in the next month. No. Okay. So if you've been here for a minute, then you may or may not know that in March I was just feeling super moody. February was not a great reading month for me, or it just didn't end off as a great reading month. March definitely got me out of that book slump, that reading slump, and I'm so excited and ready to attack this month with some fresh new reads, some different genres, some different new authors, and so we're going to be talking about that today. I have a very ambitious TBR. I'm not like pressuring myself to get to that. I may or may not get to that, but these are just books that have been on my radar. They have been on my mind. They have been books that I just have been wanting to get to, and so this is the month that we're going to get to them because it's my birth month. I have just, you know, that extra energy, you know, your girl's turning 25. I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling 25. Like, well, not yet. Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers is a book that I've seen on Goodreads. It just came out, I believe, last month in March. But it's giving Finley Donovan. Like, this cover is giving Finley Donovan vibes, and it's giving cozy mystery, which I really think I'm liking, and I've made it a point, or I've mentally made it a point, to kind of dabble in different genres rather than just reading romance all the time. And there's nothing wrong with reading romance all the time, but sometimes you just need a little refresher, you know? I am currently in the middle of Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan, and let me tell you, I'm loving it. Okay, this is my first like true black romance that I've read in a while. I mean, I get like little hints and bits and pieces, like we'll get like a POC character, or we'll get a mixed girl or mixed guy, like with the right move. Ryan is half black, half white. We get little dabbles of interracial couples here and there, but this is like my first true black romance, and I'm genuinely loving it. Like, there's so much culture in it. I'm connecting with it in so many different ways, and I'm loving that this is in like book form. It makes me so excited to read more of Kennedy Ryan and just like more black authors and black romances. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that I'm in the middle right now of Before I Let Go. Another book that I just recently got was Legends and Lattes. This is by Travis Baldry, and girl, let me tell you, I'm not a huge like Dungeons and Dragons person. I think that's what this is supposed to be like based off of. I'm not big on like, you know, deep true fantasy, but I've heard such amazing things about this. I've heard that people just absolutely love this, and so I mean, it's a shorter read. I really don't mind just dabbling in this and taking a crack at this little fantasy world. I think this is about like an ogre that wants to start a coffee shop, and no one's ever heard of coffee shops, or I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I'm actually really excited to get into it though, and I'm very open-minded about it. Heartless by Elsie Silver is a book that I'm very excited to get to because I loved Flawless. Flawless pulled me out of my book slump by the neck, like literally like drugged me by my collar and pulled me out of the depths of my reading slump, and I'm so excited to get to this. Now I will say I'm not a huge fan, and I know some people are, but I'm not a huge fan of the single parent trope, but I'm very open-minded to see how I like this one. Simple Wild is a book that I got recommended by one of you lovely viewers. Jennifer Sylvia commented on my video and told me that she absolutely loved this book and begged me to just pick it up and read it. And girl, there's a reading vlog coming out just for you. I'm gonna be reading some books in a reading vlog coming up, so stay tuned for that. I'm very excited to get to this. This is kind of, I guess I'm in my cowboy era. I guess we kind of all are in our cowboy romance era. I don't know what's going on with cowboy romances and hockey romances and why they have all of us in a chokehold right now, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it, let me tell you. I think this though is another Midwest sort of romance, something to do with like a pilot. I don't know, I like going into books very blindly, so that's that on that. This month is going to be the release of Beautiful Disaster, the book movie adaptation that I have been just waiting for my whole life, literally my whole life. I really want to pick up Walking Disaster, which is book 2 of the Beautiful Disaster series. I think it's just called like the Beautiful series. This is literally Beautiful Disaster but told in Travis's point of view, and I think the reason why I want to read this before the movie comes out on the 12th, and I'm a little bit confused, this is a little bit off topic, but I think it's only in theaters for one day. I'm gonna look into that. I read Beautiful Disaster in January and I absolutely just fell back in love with the story. You know, it was my reread from whenever I was younger. I think it would be good to just reread this before the movie comes out. Get Travis's perspective, just dabble back into that again. Hothouse Flower. I'm so excited to get to this month. I will probably be picking this up sooner rather than later. I am so excited. I think more than this book, I'm excited for Connor's book. I'm like hooked on Rose and Connor right now. Like they are my favorite. 7 Days in June is a book that I've been trying to read for a couple months now, but I think this is the time to read it. It's getting, spring has finally sprung. We are getting some good weather. I don't know if you guys can hear the plethora of birds outside my window because I have so many trees outside of my backyard. 7 Days in June is a black romance that I'm very excited to get to. This is by Tia Williams. It is about 2 authors that have been writing about each other in their books subtly, I believe. And the cover and the front matter and everything is gorgeous. Pushing the Limits is a book that I want to reread. Throughout the rest of this year, I'm going to be like throwing in rereads from my childhood, my little like preteen angsty reading binge that I was in. And this is one of the books that I read, and this is Pushing the Limits by Katie McGarry. This is about Echo and Noah. Echo is like a really traumatized girl, and Noah is like a really popular doc guy, I think. And they end up like going to detention together, and I am very excited to get into this book because I bought all of the rest of the books in the series. I think I read the first 3 books in the series, and I think there's 5 total. The Retribution of Mara Dyer is the 3rd and final book in the Mara Dyer trilogy. I always have a hard time saying that. I have been putting this off for a very long time because I just don't want this series to end, and I think I'm finally ready to at least put it on my physical TBR cart so that I can see it, remind myself that, hey, you still gotta finish this, you still want to read it, don't forget about it. And so we're putting it on my April TBR. Daisy Haites. I read Magnolia Parks in February and I actually really liked it. There's not a lot going on in the book and it's very toxic, but I think that there's just something about toxic romances and also like toxic romances in friend groups that just really get me. And I've heard that Daisy Haites is not as enthralling as Magnolia Parks, or maybe that some people favor Magnolia Parks books over Daisy Haites storyline. I am very excited to get to this book. I just love how eclectic these colors are. They just show off so much. We got like the guns for the mafia vibes. I don't know why we need a tiger. I don't know why we need a Polaroid camera or Jesus on a cross. Why we need the Italian flag. Why do we need this magnifying glass or these frames? I don't know, but I'm here for it, okay? No guns at the dinner table, it says on the back, period. A Court of Wings and Ruin, Akawar, is a book that I'm very excited to get to. I mean, this cover is gorgeous. I love the pink cover. I think that design is also utterly gorgeous. I've listened to the audiobook via Libby of Akamath in March, and it was a very jam-packed book, let me tell you. There was a lot of things that I liked about the book. There were some things that were a little bit repetitive, I want to say, in the book that I think maybe just like kind of knocked it down the 1 star. I gave it a 4 out of 5 star, and it's another big old book. Oh my goodness gracious me. Let us see. Almost 700 pages. Almost 700 pages. That's absolutely insane. This will definitely be the longest book. If I were to read this month, this would be the longest book that I would read in the entire year. I can't imagine myself reading another book that's bigger than this. I mean, at least not anytime soon. At least not this year. Abby Glines wrote this entire series called the Sea Breeze series, and I think it's a spin-off of another series, but we won't talk about that. Breathe is the first in that series, and it is a book that I kind of forgot about. I have all of the books in a single cubby, and I'm so excited to get to the series, to reread the series, but I just haven't picked up the first one because the first one's a little bit boring, I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember reading the first one as a kid, even though I know I read it, but I don't remember it because it was not that great. It's not that long of a book, and it's a YA read, so things are very fast-paced and sort of easy to read, so there's no excuse for me not to read it. Have tried to get a little bit into it, and so I definitely will see myself into this month. And lastly, I have Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan. This is a book that I have been very excited to get to. I am currently listening to Before We Let Go by Kennedy Ryan, so I already know I'm gonna like Kennedy Ryan's writing style. I already know that I'm gonna be hooked. So not only is it gonna be Kennedy Ryan, but it's gonna be Kennedy Ryan plus another one of my favorite things, which is basketball. Basketball romance. Sign me up. Sign me up. Okay, I'm ready for it. And I've heard great things about the Hoops series, so very hyped to get to that. These are all the books. These are all of them that I would like to read in the month of April. And we also talked about the books that I read in March. If you want more of that type of content, if you want more of my March content, feel free to go check out my March videos and my March vlogs. I'm very excited to see what April has in store for not only me and my reads, but for like fun events in general. I cannot believe that I'm turning 25. It is crazy to think about that. I really appreciate you guys for spending some time today and watching this video, spending some time out of your day to sit and listen to me talk about books. I hope you guys maybe found some good recommendations, and I would really love to know what you were planning to read in the month of April. So leave a comment down below of some books that either you're reading right now, plan to read in the month of April, or have been thinking about reading in the month of April. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I will see you guys very soon in my next one, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Happy spring!